So you're wanting to invest in real estate and you don't want to sit with your new investment property vacant for weeks while going through applications, paying letting fees and leaving the property to attract potential vandalism in the meantime. You also want to avoid putting a potentially bad tenant into your property. So having a tenant already up and going can be a very appealing thought. I get it, remember, I'm an investor too. I understand that having great tenants already in place is a good thing. But while it's great to inherit amazing tenants and hit the ground running with rent flowing in from day one, there are a few things to remember. Because if your potential investment property has a bad egg tenant, it could cost you big dollars and many sleepless nights. Firstly, if we're completely honest when it comes to the inspection of a potential investment property, you're probably not going to be able to see every potential issue without all the tenants' belongings being removed. This is not just true when I view the property myself as a sales agent, but also for property managers conducting rental appraisals, the purchaser, which is you, and even those that are having building inspections and pest inspections, those inspectors may have issues. Now, professionals and you, of course, are going to do the best job that you can do or they can do, but it's always harder to spot issues with the property and also with the tenancies in these smaller windows of times while tenants are still in the property. Now, when a tenant moves out, this is when it's going to be really clear if they were as good at being a tenant as they looked during the tenancy or when you inspected the property, as now there are no well-positioned mats or sofas preventing us from seeing the full picture both internally and also outside the house. Next, the tenants might look the part, or should I say, the way they are keeping the property appears to be on the up and up when you inspect the property, and they appear to be doing all the right things. But even if this is the case, you really should ask to review the tenancy payment ledger before getting ready to make an offer as well. Looking at a tenancy ledger, which shows how they've paid the rent, will show you how consistently those existing tenants have been with paying their rent over the course of their tenancy. Paying rent on time, remember, is consistently a key of a staple good tenant. If their payment history shows that they've been prone to falling behind and regularly missing payments, there is going to be an increased chance of this happening again in the future. If you're thinking about building a portfolio, remember having tenants who pay their rent inconsistently will make it hard for most investors to be confident about making subsequent purchases. This is because you now have to allow for those peaks and downturns in rental funds. Something that makes the job of managing your money not any easier at all. Remembering, cash flow is often one of the big problems for investors. The last issue with buying a tenanted property is that you might be buying a property that has been leased at a too high rental price. And by this I mean high above the market value. Now, as an investor, I love getting top dollar as far as my rental returns go. But, and this is the big but, what happens if your investment property becomes vacant and your rental return becomes in line with the market standard, opposed to the highly over gross amount that we saw when we were looking at that particular property deal? Now, I'm not going to talk about a rental price that was high but fair. What I'm talking about is a rental price that was well above what you should be getting if you went to market tomorrow with this property vacant and were trying to attract a good tenant. This, in my opinion, is a ticking time bomb, because if you haven't done your numbers on what is realistic if you try to re-let the property or get new tenants in, even if you were as little as $10 to $20 per week off, your monthly net cash flow ends up being very, very different. The best thing to do is to ensure you have an update market review of what the likely rent for the property based on other similar properties in the area would be. So to summarize our points, great tenants in place are amazing, but please check you're not buying someone else's problem. And if you have any questions about this topic, be sure to send us a direct message or leave a comment below. I'm Ricky from Real People Real Estate. Be sure to like and share our video and comment below about what topics you'd like us to discuss next.